Do you read me over?
Be advised, you are coming in weak and unreadable.
Say again, Com Tower. This is Pacho. Do you read me over?
Pacho, this is Com Tower. I read you Lima Charlie.
Com Tower, Com Tower. Request permission to launch and commence the field op. Over.
Stand by. Pacho, permission granted. I say again, permission granted.
Roger that. Launching podcast in 3, 2. You are now entering the field op with your host, Pacho Correa, Chief Warrant Officer 3, United States Marine Corps retired. Get some. Hurrah!
Get some, everybody. What's going on? It's your boy Pacho Correa right here from our home office in sunny, humid South Florida. Friday night's Eve, baby Friday, but good Lord, it's almost the weekend. And I got a really good, great show for you. I'm going to try to do this without coughing along out. I did catch some type of bug. It's not so much, here or over here. I just can't stop coughing for whatever reason. But hey, as they say, the show must go on, right? So, hey, look, before we get started, this show is basically brought to you by me. And what I do is, aside from helping us veterans and our brothers and sisters file a claim and benefit through the VA, during the week, I'm a financial professional. What does that mean is that, well, I help you put strategies and things that not only will protect your assets, like your house, your cars, the things that you work so hard for during the service, or if you're just a regular family as well, all the things that you work hard for, in the private sector, protect those things, and also put strategies together that, God forbid, something were to happen, well, your family to you or one of your loved ones, well, those things can also help you, in the event of a loss of income, all those different things, and achieve your financial goals on the side. So, what does that mean to you? Well, you can sleep better at night. You can achieve your financial goals. You don't have to be shaking hands, kissing babies at Walmart well into your 70s, all those different things. So think about that. Give me a call. The conversation is free. It'll be, quick 30 minutes. Whether I can help you or not, I promise you I'll point you in the right direction. And if I can, then just say so, and it's all good. We're still friends, if that makes sense. The other thing is that I help you put strategies together. I help you with your VA claims and benefits. Now, I am in the process of researching a couple of things as well. There are many different organizations. I just learned a huge shout out to a fellow Marine Gunnery Sergeant. Sergeant First Class. He's not a gunner. Sergeant First Class Ortega. He's a follower of the show. He shares some different things with me that you can actually get seen abroad, and some of the things that John Davis has been talking about. So take advantage. It's through the VA. And these are all, what's going on, brother man? Santos is in the house. So, look, so taking advantage of those things through the VA, these are different things and organizations that, because it's all about peace of mind, getting what's out there for you. As we get older, things are going to go sideways. Doesn't matter how old you are now. It's never, because I just had a veteran say, hey, I reached out to an organization. They said it's a lot of time had gone by, whatever. It's never too late to put in for a claim and benefit. And yes, you may not get the decision that you wanted, but you always reapply, and then you can just keep reapplying until you get the desired outcome. So it's never too late. So file for your claims and benefits. All right. And then the other thing is that once you start getting some monies in, we can help you strategize some things with your monies that you're receiving from the VA, so that maybe you want to buy a house, maybe you want to make sure your kids go to college, because some states do not take, just because you have a VA rating doesn't mean that your kids are going to go to school for free. So I can help you put those things together. It doesn't cost you anything. So why not give it a try, right? So, and look, this show is all about the right to bear arms, freedom of speech, among many other things that the great Constitution of this great nation of ours, which, hey, happy post-belated birthday. I wasn't here for that last week because I wanted to celebrate with my family and spend some time with my loved ones. So, but this great nation of ours has given us a lot of rights and freedoms that you just can't get anywhere else in the world. I can guarantee you, because I've been all over the place, and there's no place like home. All right. So, if you're all about freedom of speech, the right to bear arms, we can agree to disagree. That's okay. Well, it's like, subscribe, and follow. You can also follow me on all the other social media platforms. And if not, then that's okay. Swipe left and check something out from right here from stitchradio.com, which have been one of our great partners. Brian Colbert is an amazing individual. And if you want to get in, whatever it is that goals you want to accomplish, he is the mentor to have and a great coach. So check him out on stitchradio.com. All right. So that's all the pleasantries that I have. I am going to be drinking water throughout the show to try to, excuse me, to try to not to cough up a lung. So let me get a shot of that. All right. So I've been, since I was a kid, I've always had some type of side hustle, and I've talked about many different things in somewhat related to this topic, but I've never talked about why we make such great entrepreneurs. So, the military has taught us to lead, solve problems, adapt under pressure, and remember, adapt and overcome, accomplish the mission, all those things. But a lot of us don't realize that those same skills can be applied and it's exactly what it takes to be basically a successful entrepreneur. A lot of us have put a five paragraph mission order, or hell, and just a quick op order. We've all done that on the fly, right? So today I want to dive in just a little bit deeper why our service naturally prepares us for business ownership, right? So we're going to talk about some of the similarities of planning military operations and obviously building a business. And also one of the things that, and again, I've touched up on this in the past, is why a lot of us struggle in a regular or traditional corporate job or environment, and why entrepreneurship offers us a new mission after our uniform comes off, right? Hey, the uniform may come off, but all of us pretty much, our oath never expires, right? So whether you're still serving, you're getting ready to transition out, you're already out. Hey, this episode is basically about recognizing the skills that you've already learned and earned, and using it to build something bigger than yourself. And if we have a little bit of time, I'm also going to point you in the right direction, certain organizations that you can go right now and get help and assistance to start your business, whether you want to be a 501c3, which is pretty much a nonprofit, which a lot of us tend to, we want to give back to our brothers and sisters. We end up starting a lot of that. So, but let's talk a little bit about what the military was already training us and preparing us for all of these things. So, you've already pretty much developed, and a lot of us don't realize that we already have the mindset needed to run a business, right? So think about some of the things that we learned. We learned leadership, right? Those of us who are in the Marine Corps, and I can't necessarily speak for the other armed forces, but I know there's a lot of all the branches have some type of leadership school. We have it in non-commissioned officer or corporal's course. We have sergeant's course. We have staff non-commissioned officer school, or the academy. And then obviously if you become an officer, we have all these other different schools, as well as the warfare college and many, many more, right? So we have the leadership plan. And again, in every service, they pretty much embed into us that everybody's a leader. Everybody can call ceasefire. Everybody can pretty much take charge. God forbid something happens to that leader, somebody can pick up that guidon and keep charging forward, right? And we also learn about planning. Again, making an op order. Even as a young troop, we are exposed to briefings, op order readings, implementing part of the planning process, and what it takes to put a mission when we're doing a field exercise, we're going outside the wire. All of these different things we have already exposure, accountability. This one is. Excuse me, this one's a little loose because I knew some individuals that couldn't be accountable for shit, and that's okay. Logistics, which is something that I did quite a bit, time management, where and if you've been on recruiting duty, I know we all become time management extraordinaires, whether we want to or not, right? But we learn how to problem solve and also how to manage risk and assess the risk as to, hey, is this juice worth the squeeze? And we're able to, whether it takes us a little bit of time to shift our focus or we do it on the fly, all these things we are already learning and preparing while we're going through the process, right? And adapt and overcome. I mean, I already touched up on that. And how to execute missions, right? So we end up taking up the uniform and rank. Business isn't all that different. I mean, it's just having and let me say this: in a day and age where there's just so many resources, financial resources, as far as and also technological, with the development of and the release of artificial intelligence, things like ChatGPT, Claude, Genesis, Grok. I mean, there's just so many out there, and each one has their excuse me, and each one has their own. They help in different areas, right? There shouldn't be, folks. There shouldn't be a reason why people shouldn't be making money from home on the side. I mean, there's and we'll also talk about things like network marketing and those type of things. Which, by the way, I don't know why even people nowadays kind of like thumb their nose at network marketing when a lot of you don't even know what and one of the objections I get all the time, is this a pyramid scheme? No, it isn't, because one, pyramid schemes are illegal and they offer no product or compensation, and the money and basically is whoever makes money out of the there's some type of fee, participation fee in the set, but no product. Whereas, so those things pretty much went out in the 80s. They got popular towards the late 70s, early 80s, and they are illegal, right? So I just want to get that out there. So you weren't just learning to be a Marine, a soldier, a sailor, airman, guardian, Coast Guardsman, whatever. You were learning to basically lead people and solve problems, right? So why do a lot of us meaning service members, why do we all get frustrated in corporate America, man? And I could go this right here could be an entire topic all on its own. So, and look, I'm not criticizing corporate careers, because I mean, for lack of better words, the military is kind of designed, structured in that way. There's always somebody in charge. Shit, even a general has somebody in charge above them. I mean, a 1-star has a 2-star, so on and so forth. I mean, and the 4-star general and 5-star, I mean, the answer to the president, right? So, there's somebody that we have to answer for, right? And and they're a great fit for many people. So I served that master at one point after I transitioned out of the military. I worked at a corporate job. Granted, the first one, and I don't want to drop any names in the company, but those of you who know me personally, on the safety world, the company that we all worked for and understudy for, and it just sucked over there. So look at my LinkedIn profile and you'll see the company that I worked for after that, and you can pretty much figure it out. Yeah, I'll just leave it as that. But a lot of us struggle on the corporate world. Why? Because decisions move slowly. I'm here to tell you that if you thought that things kind of move slow in the military, I mean, well, that is the flash compared to in the corporate world. Corporate world, I mean, things move like molasses, and nobody wants to make a decision because nobody wants to get in trouble. I mean, that's pretty much that level. Initiatives often discouraged because, I don't want to get in trouble. That's not, everybody wants to stay in their lane, but everybody has a lot of fucking opinions, right? And I struggle a lot with this because in my last job, I worked for an individual. I mean, this lady could not make a decision or lead her way out of a wet paper bag. I mean, she was just lost in the sauce. Even if you gave her an electronic GPS with the grid point, and I mean, she could not find her way through anything. but she wanted to be the boss and claim all the title. I mean, you're gonna, and this is pretty prevalent, in the corporate world, right? Promotions don't always go to the best performers. I will use her as a good example. This companies nowadays, especially this one, which is, I ended up, again, if you follow me, where I worked in different in different companies, and I'm not bagging, but I'm just giving you the reality from my perspective. So, I mean, this company is notorious for hiring kids or young individuals going through these either graduate or pre-graduate programs, and they bring them on these rotations. And this individual, just because she was in a rotation, they brought her on board, and hey, good for her, great. However, then they cleaned house. And she was one of the remaining individuals in there, and basically say, hey, we want to promote you to lead. And even though a lot of people were not, hey, look, they need a little bit more leadership, a little bit more guidance. No, we're going to go ahead. So hence, that's when I came in. So there's a lot of bureaucracy. And so basically, when you're going to see a lot, and again, it's the same thing in the military. Like, man, how did this dude ever make it to staff sergeant? How did this dude ever make it to captain? I mean, it's like, holy shit. So just because you think you're done with the military, and you're not going to find that in corporate or civilian life, I'm here to tell you that you're going to run into that even more, right? So and we learned in the military, we learned to identify problems, and we develop a plan, and we execute. We make shit happen, right? Well, in many organizations, even though you identify the problem, I mean, you spend 6 months in meetings doing Kaizen and core projects. That's, oh man, they love acronyms: core, customer oriented, something experience, whatever. Doing core projects for that, and then nothing happens. I mean, it's like wasting time to the 10th power, right? So, but I'm curious to see if you want to share your own transitioning experience into civilian employment, and what you found rewarding versus frustrating. For me, it was just, a lot of companies like to, and I've talked about this before, a lot of companies like to tell you, hey, we love our military. We're here to support our military. But the moment you start taking time off, and we all know that if you're getting ready to get out, and if you think that a VA appointment is going to be something quick, that when you go to the VA and it's going to be quick and you're going to be in and out, I'm here to tell you that you might as well allocate half a day for that. Because again, the VA system is kind of slow. I'm not bagging on it, just that's the reality of it. So, you at some point in time, your civilian job is to tell you, hey, we appreciate our veterans, but you're taking too much time off, or especially if you're going through your claims and you put in a claim out there to get compensated, you're going to get, they're going to tell you, hey, look, you can start taking some PTO and use your free time. So that's just some of the things. Whereas in the military, like, hey, look, we understand you got to go to BAN, go to basic, 8 station, whatever. No, it doesn't work like that. So that's one of the things I actually miss about still being in the Marine Corps, right? So veterans aren't usually afraid of hard work, but we're frustrated by a lack of purpose and ownership. Man, I can tell you, how many times I heard, hey, that ain't my job. Why should I get involved? I don't get paid enough for this shit. I used to end up doing a lot of other things and people would tell me, man, why are you doing this? I'm like, look, listen, the shit's got to get done either way. So it's either you do it or I do it. And what I'm not going to do, I'm like, okay, fine. Then I'll make it happen. And that's another thing why my boss didn't like what I used to do, because people started coming to me to make shit happen, get things done. And, and so people find that very threatening. I'm here to tell you that they'll try to keep a thumb on you. Most jobs do. So, so now let's talk about running a business is just another mission. I mean, it's that simple. Compare military planning with entrepreneurship. So think about this. In the military, you have a mission, you have the commander's intent, you give them 3 courses of actions, your COAs, right? You get your op order, and then you start breaking out the situation, mission, execution, admin and logistics, and commanding signal, right? You also have your reconnaissance, and then you start implementing your contingency planning and your teamwork. How is it who's who in the zoo, and how is it going to get accomplished, right? Well, guess what? Running the business, instead of a mission, you got a vision. Instead of a commander's den, you got a business plan. Instead of an up order, you got a marketing strategy. Instead of the logistics, you got a budget. You got to do market research. Instead of contingency planning, you do risk management. And then his teamwork is company culture. And God forbid you got HR, and go ahead and say some type of, no pun intended, off-color type of joke or whatever. Man, you're going to be finding your ass talking to that HR representative real freaking quick. Hey, tell me about that joke that you just told to so-and-so. And I was like, what? So you have to, it's like we have to kind of mimic ourselves, and it's a lot different. So if you're going to make somebody else rich, why not make yourself rich, right? So we think through very thorough type of contingencies, because that's how we were trained, right? We like to problem solve. Hey, how can I fix this problem in the quickest manner as possible and get this shit off my plate? I mean, that was in corporate world, people like to milk things because they just don't want to do a lot of work. And whereas I used to just say, I'm out, it's done, I move on, right? So one of the things that as you get started as an entrepreneur, it ain't freedom. I'm here to tell you that it's responsibility, right? So, because there's a huge misconception out there that owning a business means freedom, but in the first couple of years, that really, that's far from the truth. I'm here to tell you because I've owned many different types of businesses, and a huge shout out to my brother who's been on the show. He's an entrepreneur. He does a lot of things. But one thing he told me is like, hey, man, you got to learn how to fall in love with the process, because that's where you're building. And then once you get going, you get in a groove. And when you start building, you start reaping the benefits. That's great. But the first couple of years, you're grinding. And that's what makes it special. So yes, the reality is you work longer hours. I mean, you're day on, stay on. After I do the show, which is something that I'm very passionate about, sharing the word and, meeting with you folks once a week, that's great. But then after this, I'm back on here. I mean, I got all my other things out here, and I'm getting, smiling down, make phone calls, set appointments in the evenings with clients in the West Coast, on the weekends as well. So you carry more risk depending on what is it that, if you're fronting your money. Now, there are some businesses out there that are very low risk in the sense that what you put in up front. There's some that you got to build a business plan. You got to ask for SBA, Small Business Administration loans, go to the bank, all those other, and you don't always have a guaranteed paycheck. You don't. I mean, it's right. Again, when you're in build mode, and if a lot of that gets reinvested into the business, you're not going to see a profit for 2-3 years. I mean, that is the reality of it, folks, right? And then you become responsible for employees, customer, and family. So depending on what it is that you have, you're going to have to, the weight is on you, because excuse me, if these people, if you're paying them a paycheck and they depend on you, I mean, that's a huge responsibility as well. So, and whether you have a restaurant, whether you have a factory, a product that you're building, that you're providing for other folks, or whether you have a standalone business and everything else. I mean, again, you are, it's all on you. Who's gonna get the shit done? You look in the mirror and you point at the guy, hey, I need you to get this done, right? So would I rather do this than be at a corporate job? Now, for me, I'd rather put the pressure on me, and I know I'm building something, I'm going to get somewhere. Every day is different. Every day is an experience. And I can honestly say that nobody owes your business success. Just like nobody carried your pack for you when you're in the military. So it's going to give you resilience, because you're like, oh man, you're failing your way forward. Some days, and comparison is the worst thing that you can do. It's like, man, I know I'm doing the same shit that this person in my office were they're in, and how come they have more success than I am? And you got to get, or even from friends that close by, you start comparing yourself. It kills you. It kills you mentally, and it kills your momentum. So don't do that, right? And failure is feedback. I mean, you fail your way forward, and every day is a little win. It may not seem big, but you start, one win leads to another, one failure, you learn, okay, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to go ahead and retweak the plan just a little bit, right? So it's just one step in front of the other, and being resilient. If you want to put your faith in God, is become an entrepreneur. But I tell you what, for me, I've learned to fall in love with the process. It's allowed me to, one, be able to do things and dictate my own time. Now it takes a lot of discipline and time management and such. I mean, sometimes I just do random dumb shit that I shouldn't be, but as long as you catch yourself and put yourself back, or have the love and support of others that can reel you back in, that's great. So if you have that, that's awesome. But it's also allowed me to, my daughter had surgery last year. It allowed me to work from Texas as I was taking care of her and making sure that she was good to go and drive her to her appointments. I was able to work and be mobile. It's allowed me to experience other things, go to events where I connected with other fellow entrepreneurs, other veterans that are doing the same thing. So it's given me the opportunity to do many, many different things. Does it help that I get a VA compensation and a retirement? Yes, it does help. But also my kid's mom, my former baby mama, gets some of that too. So I mean, that puts pressure. So the point is that you got to learn to fall in the process, and then just find your next mission, right? Many veterans who thrive after service, they don't stop serving. A lot of us, we change how we serve. Some of us, start out a business, but a lot of us, like I've noticed that a lot of us create nonprofits. We got Tim Grease with, he is in Ohio, and he's got it's called Veterans Racing Group. If you want to know more about him, go ahead and check it out, veteransracinggroup.org. I believe you can Google him. He's on LinkedIn, and he's also on my social media. If you want to find out and help more veterans, go to that organization. And then you got another, Isaac Los His Human. That's another great, that provides service members with service dogs for people who are combat veterans and PTSD. You got Aaron Siebert, who's been on my show, Chief Siebert. He's been on my show, Word Build Foundation. Now, he's not the creator of it, but he runs that organization, and they offer many different programs. I've run into veterans who are content creators. I'm one of them. And in addition to that, I also advocate for our community, and I get involved. There's also people doing podcasting, real estate, financial education, advocacy. So the point is, folks, is that purpose doesn't retire after, doesn't disappear after getting out of the service, right? So we're just choosing a different battlefield. So find your purpose. If you need help with that, excuse me, you can reach out to me. You can reach out to Brian Colburn. I highly recommend you talk to Brian Colburn. Or, you can go right here on, you have AI, you have everybody, from, Napoleon Hill, all available on these platforms that you can talk to them and help you implement a plan and how to execute. It'll spit out, everything just right there and there, right? So I just want to leave you with this. Many of us spend, a lot of spend when we're getting ready to get out, or even after we're out, it's like, what do I know? Or maybe the better question is, what problem am I uniquely qualified to solve? What problem can I solve? And what's a good niche that I can find in the industry? If you ask your brain that question or to yourself out loud, what's going on, my brother from another mother? Huge shout out to Brian Coburn. That's my dog right there. Hey, by the way, that dude right there, he is, I like to call him the good fairy, the good idea fairy. If you need ideas and you have a problem to solve, or you want to start a job, start a business, many different things, Brian is the man that can help you capitalize on that and start and get yourself going forward. So you want to definitely get plugged in with him. So because everything you experience in the military, by asking the right questions, every deployment, every leadership position, every challenge, it's prepare you to build something that gives you meaning and purpose. Again, why are you gonna make somebody else rich when you can make yourself rich, right? So you can start something while you're still working for a corporate job. You can start something there, start your side thing, your side gig, side hustle. And then when that starts bringing in income, in addition to VA claims and benefit, your retirement, then that side hustle becomes your main hustle, and you can leave your corporate job. And going back to network marketing, over the years, there's young people now that, is this a pyramid scheme? Look, let's look at it think about it like this. You have your regular job. Who's at the top? Your boss. Then you got your shift leaders, then your supervisors, then you got managers, whatever, and then you got you. And regardless of all the time, experience, degrees, and whatever shit you think you to get from your position to the next, that supervisor, that lead, whatever, they either gotta leave, die, and because in the civilian world, it's not like the military that you PCS every 2-3 years, and then that spot opens up. Nope. Again, so and then God forbid if that person likes you or doesn't like you, they're gonna keep their thumb on you to keep you down, and you may get a 3% bonus raise, which it ain't really much. So, and then so it keeps going up. So, and even your boss at the top has a boss. So, I mean, if you think about it like this, whereas in network marketing or a lot of businesses, you start out at the top. That's you. You got all the time, all the experience, all the certifications, all the things. And then if you want to build a team, well, that's okay too. You can build that out. And if you're overriding your teammates, if they give you a cut, if you're a realtor or like a broker at a realtor office, then all those agents, they pay you a commission because you're the broker. You got the designation, you pass the licenses. So yes, network marketing is and you can talk to Robert Kiyosaki. So, I mean, which it gives you a baseline of a business and a blueprint that's been tried and true, and that it actually works. So, or you could be a franchise owner. You could be, I mean, there's all those things. I mean, that's pretty, you think, oh, is that network? Oh, fuck. I mean, you got to have know people to bring into your Burger King, your McDonald's, your Subway, whatever, right? So, again, going back, their network marketing are not pyramid schemes. They are actual things that are based on a product, and they offer and sell products. So why not try that as a side? I mean, I remember people used to do Tastefully Simple. And then there was, I forgot what, this shit on base, like these type of, there was one for like adult toys. So there were adult parties, and some of the wives, and they will bring in adult toys. I mean, and you can think of whatever. I didn't go, obviously. So, I would, but my wife went, and my wife at the time, she went to some of those, like, oh, they had this, and then she would bring back what kind. So the point is that, hey, look, there's a product out there and a company out there for everybody. So why not try it? Why not do something that's going to go ahead and benefit you, and that, again, that side hustle becomes your main hustle, if that makes sense, right? So don't let those stay in again, all the things that you learn from the military, those deployments, your positions, your challenges, they prepare you to build something with meaning, right? So don't let those lessons stay in the past. Take them with you. Build something, lead again, serve again, just different, right? So the military taught us how to complete the mission. Entrepreneurship allows us to choose the mission, right? So with that being said, hey, look, folks, I think a lot of us have a lot of good stuff here. If you want ideas, you can hit me up. Definitely recommend you hit up Brian Colburn from sitchradio.com. Set up a call. My man can guide you in the right direction. But again, there shouldn't be a reason why in this day and age nobody should be and nobody should be not be making money, using with all the stuff that's out there nowadays. Why not? You know what I'm saying? So I think this is a good place to index, everybody. I just want to take the time, one, to cough my freaking lung out a little bit. Two, be able to say, America, America's not perfect. Trust me, it's not. And again, this is coming straight from an immigrant, right? Because I'm first, and it's me. It's my mom is an immigrant, not ignorant. My mom is an immigrant. I'm an immigrant because I came after she came here. She brought us here, but this country is not bad at all. Yeah, we may have disagreements. Things aren't perfect. Some of you think that because of excuse me, some shit that happened 300 plus years ago, and a lot of people bring slavery to the fold and whatever else. Hey, look, no country's perfect, and just about every country in history has had slavery, and even in Africa. So the point I'm trying to make here, folks, is that don't take these things for granted, because people are persecuted for their religion, for their sexual preference, for expressing their own opinion, for burning their flag, for just outright talking against their government. To this day, here in this day and age, in other countries, and here you get the right to talk trash about this country. Express yourself, have your own friggin' pronouns. You get to burn the flag. I don't agree with it, but I get it, because I fought for 21 years. I defended the Constitution of this great nation of ours. For you to be able to do that, and this is the only place in the world where you can talk shit about it and piss on it and whatever and whatever else, and nothing happens. You're good. Whereas, you got somebody right here from Iran. Hopefully they're, I don't know if you're in Iran, but I can tell you this, that you don't get all these freedoms, over there in Iran. They don't get all that freedom over there that we get over here. As a matter of fact, shit. And I've been to all those countries, and some of you who served, you've been there too as well. So even though the country's not perfect, take the time to appreciate the freedoms that you get that you're not going to get anywhere else. So I think that's pretty much my end rant right here. And so with that being said, hey, America, happy belated birthday to you. I love you. Un beso bien grande, a big kiss from right here, from my soul and from my heart. And if you've been struggling with PTSD, going into that rabbit hole that you feel like you can't come out of, reach out to the show, reach out to me, because I do give a shit, and I will point you in the right direction. I'm not a therapist, but I know, and I have a lot of resources. But you could also call Military One Source, PTSD, the suicide hotline, the VA, all those other resources out there, because we just don't want you to be a statistic. So I think this is a great place to index, everybody. So happy birthday, America, once again. So index, Aistamas, Daisuki. I'll see you next week, everybody. All right, get some.